When Walter White dissolved a body in hydrofluoric acid, millions of viewers watched in horrified fascination. When he created thermite to break through a warehouse lock, chemistry suddenly became the most dangerous subject on television. But here's what most people don't realize: nearly every scientific method shown in Breaking Bad is based on real chemistry that actually works. Today we're going behind the scenes of one of television's most scientifically accurate dramas to separate the legitimate science from the Hollywood fiction. From the methamphetamine synthesis that made Walter White infamous to the explosive reactions that kept viewers on the edge of their seats, we'll explore how Breaking Bad managed to make chemistry both terrifying and fascinating. This isn't just about whether the show got the science right. It's about understanding how real chemical principles can be weaponized, manipulated, and used in ways that most people never imagine. By the end of this video, you'll understand why chemistry teachers around the world had very mixed feelings about Walter White's legacy. Welcome back to the channel. If you've ever wondered whether the science in Breaking Bad could actually work in real life, you're about to discover that the truth is both more fascinating and more frightening than you might expect. Breaking Bad didn't just happen to get the science right by accident. The show's creator, Vince Gilligan, was obsessed with authenticity and employed real chemists as consultants to ensure that every reaction, every synthesis, and every scientific principle shown on screen was grounded in legitimate chemistry. The show's attention to scientific detail serves a crucial narrative purpose. Walter White's transformation from mild-mannered teacher to dangerous criminal mastermind is made believable precisely because his expertise is real. The chemistry isn't just window dressing, it's the foundation of his power. We'll examine the most memorable scientific moments from the series, analyzing what the show got right, what it simplified for dramatic effect, and what real-world implications these methods have. From the infamous bathtub scene to the explosive finale, every major plot point in Breaking Bad hinges on legitimate scientific principles that work exactly as shown. The show also raises profound questions about the relationship between knowledge and responsibility. Walter White possesses dangerous expertise, but his descent into criminality forces us to confront uncomfortable truths about how scientific knowledge can be misused and the ethical obligations that come with understanding potentially harmful processes. Let's start with the chemistry that made Walter White infamous: methamphetamine synthesis. The show depicts several different methods for producing the drug, each based on real chemical processes that are unfortunately well documented in both legitimate research and illicit manufacturing. Walter's signature blue methamphetamine isn't just a visual gimmick. The blue color comes from using a specific synthetic pathway that produces exceptionally pure product. In reality, methamphetamine can be synthesized through numerous routes, but the pseudoephedrine reduction method shown in early episodes is indeed one of the most common illicit manufacturing techniques. The show accurately depicts the equipment needed for synthesis: round-bottom flasks, reflux condensers, heating mantles, and other standard laboratory glassware. These aren't exotic movie props, they're real scientific instruments that can be purchased from laboratory supply companies. The danger lies not in the equipment itself, but in the knowledge of how to use it for illegal purposes. The methylamine heist that drives much of the series' plot is based on genuine chemistry. Methylamine is indeed a crucial precursor for methamphetamine synthesis, and it's a controlled substance. The show's depiction of methylamine's importance and the lengths criminals will go to obtain it reflects real-world law enforcement challenges. Walter's pride in producing 99.1% pure methamphetamine highlights a genuine aspect of illicit drug manufacturing. Purity matters enormously in both potency and market value. The chemical knowledge required to achieve such purity is substantial and represents the kind of expertise that would indeed make someone like Walter White extremely valuable to criminal organizations. The show also accurately portrays the dangers of methamphetamine production. The chemicals involved are toxic, corrosive, and often explosive. The makeshift laboratories shown in the series, from Winnebagos to underground bunkers, capture the genuine hazards that real methamphetamine producers face, including fire explosion and chemical poisoning. Beyond drug synthesis, Breaking Bad showcased chemistry as a weapon in ways that were both creative and scientifically sound. The thermite reaction that Walter uses to break through a warehouse lock is a classic demonstration of chemical energy release that actually works exactly as shown. Thermite is a mixture of iron oxide and aluminum powder that, when ignited, produces temperatures exceeding 2,500 degrees Celsius. This is hot enough to melt through steel, making it genuinely useful for cutting through locks, safes, or other metal barriers. The reaction shown in the series is chemically accurate and represents a real technique that has been used in both legitimate applications and criminal activities. The famous bathtub scene, where hydrofluoric acid dissolves both a body and the bathtub itself, is based on real chemistry with one crucial dramatic license. Hydrofluoric acid is indeed capable of dissolving organic matter and will react violently with many materials. However, it wouldn't dissolve a porcelain bathtub as dramatically as shown. The show's scientific consultant later admitted this was one of the few instances where dramatic effect took precedence over chemical accuracy. Walter's use of phosphine gas as a weapon represents another example of real chemistry being applied in dangerous ways. Phosphine is indeed highly toxic and can be produced through relatively simple chemical reactions. The show's depiction of its lethal effects is scientifically accurate, though the ease of production and deployment shown on screen simplifies what would be an extremely dangerous process in reality. The mercury fulminate that Walter uses to intimidate Tuco is a real explosive compound that is indeed extremely sensitive to shock and friction. However, the amount Walter claims to be carrying would likely have killed everyone in the room if it had actually detonated. This represents one area where the show prioritized dramatic tension over scientific precision. The ricin subplot that runs throughout the series is based on legitimate toxicology. Ricin is indeed a naturally occurring poison that can be extracted from castor beans through processes that, while dangerous, are within the capabilities of someone with Walter's chemical knowledge. The show's depiction of ricin's effects and the difficulty of detecting it in victims is scientifically accurate. What makes Breaking Bad particularly interesting from a scientific perspective is how it portrays the process of chemical problem solving. Walter consistently approaches challenges by analyzing them through a chemical lens, whether he's dealing with a battery problem, a disposal issue, or a security concern. The improvised battery that Walter creates to restart their RV uses real electrochemical principles. The galvanic cell he constructs from coins, wire, and brake pads demonstrates genuine understanding of how batteries work. This represents the kind of creative problem solving that real chemists use when they need to improvise solutions with available materials. Walter's analysis of the bombing that injured Hector Salamanca showcases forensic chemistry in action. His ability to determine the explosive used and trace its components demonstrates real investigative techniques that law enforcement chemists use to analyze crime scenes and identify perpetrators. The show's attention to laboratory safety, or rather the consequences of ignoring it, reflects real concerns in chemical work. The fires, explosions, and toxic exposures that plague Walter's various cooking operations illustrate genuine hazards that professional chemists work carefully to avoid. The degradation of equipment and the improvised solutions that Walter and Jesse implement throughout the series highlight the challenges of conducting precision chemistry under less than ideal conditions. Real clandestine laboratories face similar problems, and the show's depiction of these challenges adds authenticity to the narrative. Perhaps most importantly, Breaking Bad demonstrates how chemical knowledge can be both powerful and dangerous. Walter's expertise gives him capabilities that ordinary criminals lack, but it also creates unique vulnerabilities and dependencies that ultimately contribute to his downfall. The show's impact on public perception of chemistry has been profound and somewhat troubling. While Breaking Bad increased interest in chemistry among students and the general public, it also associated the discipline with criminal activity in ways that concerned many educators and professionals. Real chemistry teachers reported mixed reactions to Walter White's character. While some appreciated the show's accurate portrayal of chemical principles, others worried about the association between chemistry education and illegal drug manufacturing. The show sparked important conversations about scientific ethics and the responsibility that comes with chemical knowledge. Law enforcement agencies noted that Breaking Bad's popularity coincided with changes in how methamphetamine was produced and distributed. While the show didn't create new methods of drug manufacturing, it did make certain techniques more widely known and may have influenced some real-world criminal activity. The series also highlighted legitimate concerns about the accessibility of chemical knowledge and equipment. The same principles and materials that Walter uses for illegal purposes have important legitimate applications in research industry and education. Breaking Bad illustrated the challenge of controlling dangerous knowledge without restricting beneficial scientific work. Educational institutions have used Breaking Bad as a teaching tool, using the show's scenarios to discuss chemical principles, laboratory safety, and scientific ethics. The series provides compelling examples of how theoretical knowledge translates into practical applications, even when those applications are illegal. The show's legacy in popular culture has made chemistry more visible and interesting to general audiences. While this increased awareness comes with some problematic associations, it has also created opportunities for science educators to engage students who might not otherwise be interested in chemistry. Breaking Bad succeeded in making chemistry both accessible and dramatic by grounding its fictional scenarios in real scientific principles. The show's commitment to scientific accuracy, even when depicting illegal activities, created a level of authenticity that made Walter White's transformation believable and his expertise genuinely threatening. The series demonstrates that science fiction doesn't need to invent impossible technologies to create compelling drama. Real chemistry, properly understood and applied, provides more than enough material for thrilling storytelling. The show also illustrates the double-edged nature of scientific knowledge. The same expertise that makes Walter an excellent teacher also makes him a dangerous criminal. This duality reflects real concerns about how scientific education and research can be misused and the ethical responsibilities that come with powerful knowledge. Breaking Bad's scientific accuracy serves its narrative purposes perfectly, but it also raises important questions about the portrayal of science in popular media. The show proves that audiences can handle sophisticated scientific content when it's presented clearly and integrated meaningfully into the story. Perhaps most significantly, Breaking Bad demonstrates that chemistry is far from the boring, abstract subject that many students perceive it to be. The show reveals chemistry as a dynamic, powerful discipline that can be used to solve problems, create new materials, and yes, sometimes cause considerable trouble. The real science behind Breaking Bad is ultimately more fascinating than any fictional enhancement could be. The show's lasting impact lies not just in its dramatic storytelling, but in its demonstration that the natural world operates according to principles that are both comprehensible and extraordinary. What aspects of Breaking Bad's chemistry surprised you the most? Did the show change how you think about chemistry as a scientific discipline? Are there other TV shows or movies where you've wondered about the accuracy of the science portrayed? As Walter White stands on that rooftop, he reflects on the choices that led him here, illustrating the complexities of morality intertwined with scientific ambition. In the classroom, the spark of curiosity ignites in the students' eyes, demonstrating how the right guidance can inspire a deep appreciation for chemistry and its real-world applications. In the dim light of the warehouse, the high stakes of Walter's choices are laid bare, reminding us that behind the science lies a world fraught with danger and ethical dilemmas. The blue crystal, often admired for its aesthetic appeal, serves as a stark reminder of how chemistry can be wielded for both creation and destruction, forcing us to confront the duality of scientific discovery. Let me know in the comments which chemical reactions from the series you found most interesting or concerning. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the real science behind fictional drama, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more explorations of how science appears in popular culture. Next week, we'll be examining the physics behind superhero movies and whether any of those incredible powers could actually work in the real world. Until then, remember that the most compelling science is often the science that's actually possible. Thanks for watching, and keep exploring the fascinating world where science meets storytelling. As we dive into the realm of superhero movies next week, don't forget to think about the science that could potentially back those extraordinary abilities. Imagining a world where such powers exist sparks curiosity, and it's exciting to consider the implications. Whether it's flight superstrength or invisibility, science often provides fascinating insights into what's achievable and what's purely fictional. Keep those thoughts in mind as we explore these incredible concepts further.